Hi there, my name's Jim. I'm making a game called Fun Man, and this is a video about making my game Fun Man. Over the course of the development of this game, I've been learning slowly but surely how to create an NPC that is fun, that has behavior that is fun, that you can interact with, etc. Not just that, but I wanted to make a singular NPC file that I could drop a character in and it would have the behavior I wanted it to have. All I'd have to do was to create the skins of the character and then assign those to a skeleton that had all the animations in it. And that has been my goal for, it feels like, about a year. And guess what? We just got there about 2 days ago. Awesome. Here's an early version of the all-in-one NPC that was way more difficult than it needed to be. So I'm not using that anymore. And here's a version of the character from last night where I started experimenting with different types of clothing. But this skeleton had a bone called neutral bone down by its feet that didn't match up with all of the reference animations, and it kept throwing up an error. So I have to start over again. That's okay. So this guy right here is the launching off point for every other humanoid NPC in the game. And this is Fun Man, and I have dozens and dozens of animations for Fun Man that I can just reuse for other NPCs. All I need to do is, if I was going to put on a new face, get rid of his face, bam, bring in the new face, parent it to these bones, and it will work. Yeah, I'm also going to create clothing for this guy. You duplicate this, and then since it's already weighted to this skeleton, everything will already be weighted. All you need to do is sculpt the clothing around so it doesn't show through the T-pose, blah blah blah, and you can make all the clothing you want. One of the bummers was I didn't know how to do this until yesterday. I never learned an easy way to do it until yesterday, but now I can make all the clothing and hair and everything that I want, and that's cool. So now that I have my skeleton, I started making some basic clothes, which I can build off of in the future. When I was doing this, and I made the shirt, I thought, since I make all my characters in the same program, which is Make Human, and they all have the same amount of faces on the top, is there any way I can take one head and just transfer it over to the other head automatically with the weights applied? And I tried that, and it didn't work perfect, but it's pretty easy to weight paint a head onto this skeleton. It's just 2 little wipes and you got it. This was a very exciting development of the day, but this is where I'm going to leave this part and just work on designing clothes, because there are a few other things I want the heads to be able to do. I want them to turn and be able to look at characters, and I'd also like them to emote, and I would rather not have to program the emoting on every single one. I think that might be a job for shape keys, but that's in the future. I still haven't figured out whether or not I want them to talk. I mean, I want some of them to talk, but have the lips move. Something for another day. So that is the state of affairs of Fun Man as of today. The last Kickstarter drive I had, I offered a tier where you could become an NPC in the game. And if you were one of the folks who put towards that and were wondering, gee, I wonder when I'm going to become an NPC in the game, the answer to that is sooner than later. So I'd like to thank all of you Kickstarter people who supported the project, and I'd also like to thank my lovely Patreon supporters who helped me keep the dream alive. Thank you very much for watching, thank you for your attention, and I hope you have a wonderful night full of pleasant dreams, and a happy tomorrow too. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.